Hi, I'm standing in front of the Istana Hotel here in the centre of Kuala Lumpur, where Ideal Systems are exhibiting at the Asia Broadcast Union Digital Broadcast Symposium. This year we have introduced some new technologies at the show, new to Asia, and for the first time on display here at the show is iBroadcast from Aztec, and iBroadcast is a network and facilities monitoring system and control system. So this is a system that allows you to manage and monitor all of your broadcast systems, but all of your facility systems as well. So everything through your broadcast chain, through your multiple broadcast systems, right the way through to your air conditioning, your heat, your generators, and your backup systems. So very powerful system, very all-encompassing system. It's been used for many years by large broadcasters in Europe, such as B-Sky-B in the UK. So it's great now to bring this technology to Asia and showcase it here at the ABU show in Kuala Lumpur. Another new technology we're introducing here at the show is from Dejero. Dejero is a Canadian company that have a mobile video capture and transmission capacity, including a bonded cellular transmitter that also can use microwave, also can use Wi-Fi, a cloud solution for content distribution and editing, and a play-out solution from the broadcaster. So very strong suite of software and physical bonded transmitters from Dejero. This has been used by a lot of international companies such as ESPN for sports events. Again, we're introducing that here at the show, which makes it a really interesting show for us because we're bringing all this new technology to Asia. We also have some of our older partners here on the booth as well, introducing some new functionality. We've got the latest releases from Phabrix. We introduced Phabrix in Asia a couple of years ago. Fabulous success on signal analysis tools, from their handheld devices to their rack-mounted devices. Some new innovations that have made their way into the product set this year is the full suite of Dolby and Dolby Digital Plus, now in the Phabrix range. Paul Nichols come over from the UK here to Malaysia to take us through those products later on. We also have some new products released from Phabrix. They're software-defined video networking. Again, this is the move from baseband broadcast architecture into more IP-centric video architecture, and enabling tools from IP video routers to the control surfaces, all in IP, to enable that transition. And finally, at the end of the booth, we have our own product set, Softcast. And this year, we've brought back the Softcast. Last year, we showed the Softcast doing a 4K transmission, and this year we've brought the same server back. We've enhanced the software. We're now doing IP playout, and out of the same server, we're actually able to do 5 channels HD transmission. So a massive reduction in the hardware footprint required for broadcast, and a massive saving, not just in the physical space, not just in the number of rack servers required, but also in the licensing as well. The licensing model we've changed for this IP. So we're now starting to see not just a move to IP because of a general want to move to have a more data-centric broadcast facility, but we're starting to see where this move to IP creates economies, creates savings, and is more economically viable. And this is the start of that process now. We're seeing that reflected in these new license models coming out of the Softcast product set. So we've got a lot of interesting stuff on the booth. We've brought over a number of experts. We've brought over from Canada, we've Mark from Phabrix, we've Arco from Dejero, with Chris from Aztec with the iBroadcast product, and Paul from Phabrix. So UK, Canada, US, people coming over here to showcase their technologies and introduce some new technologies into Asia. I hope you enjoy the rest of this video and have a look at the products. If you couldn't get here to Kuala Lumpur to have a look, and you want to take a look at these technologies, of course, contact Ideal Systems. We come out, happy to show you, happy to do a demo, a proof of concept, but do contact us, not just in Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia, but across all our offices from India, China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Japan. So do contact us, and we'll be happy to talk to you. Thank you very much. Enjoy ABU 2015.
Hi there, my name's Chris Barlow. I'm the CTO of Aztec, and we're here at the ABU 2015 to launch our iBroadcast network management system into the area through our partner Ideal Systems. I'll just walk you through a fairly brief demonstration of the product just to show you its features and capabilities. So the application is designed to act as a source of aggregation for all of your different broadcast equipment, but also non-broadcast equipment too, which could be things like your IT servers, but also your facilities equipment. So air conditioning, power generation, security, all of the door access controls and all of those kind of things. All of the information which could have a bearing on your overall operational performance. So what we do is we present all of the information that we gather through a simple, high-level consolidated dashboard. And what this is designed to show is the overall status of your operation from a performance perspective. And if there's a problem with any aspect of your operation, then that will be reflected in this display, and we can use the application then to drill down and find the root cause of that problem. So for example, here across the top are all the individual areas of the system that I'm monitoring, and we have a high level status here as well of our overall operation. So if there are any problems, I will have an instant notification through this system, and I can drill down. So if I take a look into our contribution area, this now shows all of the individual subsystems of the contribution area, so all of the elements that make up that operational area, and I can drill down further into any of these, and now I can see the actual equipment that is responsible for that particular, for the broadcast of the services from that area of the business. And if there's a problem with any of these pieces of equipment, for example, if I just toggle this into alarm, then you'll see how the alarm is aggregated up through the hierarchies of the system, so that right at the very top level we can see that there's a problem, and then of course we can use the system to diagnose that problem. If I just clear the error down again. All of these displays that you see here are all designed to be as templated as possible, so that regardless of the individual idiosyncrasies between all of your systems, we can provide as fewer screens as possible, which makes the system more easy to maintain and also easy to configure. Through the training we provide on the application, we can also have our partners or even our end users configure this system, so that there's no reliance on us as the vendor for the long-term support and maintenance of the overall kind of application and the way the information is presented. Some more examples of the types of displays we have. For example, if I look in the playout area, now we have a number of playout chains, and I can look at the individual playout chains and view their performance. And also if there's a requirement, then it's also possible to use the system to provide control. So I can click here and fail over to the reserve path, and all of these actions are either are all enforced by security, and they're also audited, so you can see at any time who's actually taken what actions. All of the objects on the screen, or all of the screen components, are also dynamic, so we can actually install and remove equipment while the system's running. And all this is done because we recognise how complex and dynamic some of the broadcasting operations can be, so that there's constant equipment refresh, and it's important that the system does not stagnate, so that it continues to offer value even in a rapidly changing environment. So for example, I can remove equipment from here. I just simply tell the system that I no longer want to monitor that device, and it will disappear from the screen. So therefore it's very easy to have the system maintain its relevance and to keep monitoring all of your devices. Here we have an example of a distributed transmission environment that we're going to monitor, so all of the various remote transmission sites, and we can drill down into a particular site and view the status of the transmitter, all of the hardware and all of the equipment from that site, and also as well we can take all of the information from other sources such as weather systems, so that if there's a problem with this site, then it's possible for the operator to determine if the issue is weather related or if it's equipment related, because of course it could well be that it's to do with rain fade or some other weather phenomenon. But we can also look at the non-broadcast side of that as well. So here we're showing the low voltage switchgear that we're monitoring, things like circuit breakers and transformers and even a diesel generator. And it's even possible for the system to monitor the level from your fuel tank and even show a trend of those levels, so that if you need to rely on the generator, that then you can be sure that there's enough fuel in the tank and that the generator will start. It's even possible to monitor all of your utility meters, so things like power meters, water meters and all of the sort of meter types, so that if you're using that to record your utility usage, that's the kind of thing that iBroadcast can report on also. It's not just equipment status information. And even things like security systems, so for door access control and even for IP cameras, then we can take a feed. So if there's motion detected at a particular remote site, then it's possible for the user of the system to actually dial in and to pull back a feed there from that camera, and he can see whether there's been a security breach. We're also able to take in video feeds as well, so that if it helps the operator to diagnose a problem by looking at the actual played out video, then that's something that we can do. And we can also interface to things like third-party compliance systems. So here, for example, there's a file QC system that we're showing all of the jobs the file QC system either is or has been like processing. And we can drill down into one of these jobs and then view the report. So if there are any errors with the file QC, you can bring that information straight into the iBroadcast user interface. We're able to monitor all of the IT systems as well, so things like servers and switches. And here on this example, we're showing like a data center or a hall with racks. And we can drill in and see the individual racks themselves, the temperatures and the power usage of the individual racks, and then we drill in and we can see the front and the back of the racks, all the equipment that's installed. And if I hover over, then we can see some of the status from that information. And if I hover over, we can see some of the status from that device. So things like the CPU, if there's a problem with disk space, or if there's a problem with any of the components from the server. We also have a few different ways to present the information to operators. So here is our standard dashboard view, which shows the overall platform performance. But we can also drill in and show the service view, which now looks at all of the services that we carry and if there are any problems that affect the integrity of those services. And of course, if there's a problem, then the user can use the user interface to drill down into and use the system to diagnose problems from that service perspective. We also have a system view, which shows our kind of end-to-end platform monitoring with all of the operational areas right across the business, and also we can drill down into these areas as well if there's a problem to kind of isolate the root cause and to diagnose the issue. So that was a brief introduction to iBroadcast. This is the first time that we've had iBroadcast in Asia, and as I said earlier, it's available through our partner, Ideal Systems. If you need any further information, you can contact Aztec or view our website, which is www.aztecsolutions.com, or you can visit the Ideal Systems website, www.idealsys.com. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to ABU. We're here at the Ideal Systems booth introducing Dejero to the Asian market with our new partner Ideal Systems. My name is Arke Gronenberg. I'm the Senior VP of Global Sales for Dejero Labs, and today I'll take you through our solutions. Our Dejero Live Plus platform is a versatile and complete IP solution for news gathering and live broadcasting. So let me take you through our workflow solutions and our overall solution and the different parts of what Dejero has to offer. As part of our IP-based solution, we have capture, transmission, capture and transmission, management, and then play out either through a server or through the cloud. Okay. Let me start with capture. We have different devices that allow content acquisition in the field, remote locations for live broadcasting back in the studio. We have different modules. So over here at the show we have a Go box, which is our very robust portable unit for live broadcasting in the field. For example, we also have applications. So we have the latest and the greatest version 3.1 just announced yesterday for an iPhone. And then we also have software for a MacBook. Okay. At NAB we'll also be launching a new transmitter. So come check out the Ideal Systems website and press releases from Dejero to hear more news for NAB. We also have a one rack unit product that's called VSET. That's very commonly used in trucks and mobile vehicles. Okay. The way we transmit our signals, video, back to the studio from remote locations is either through 3G, 4G or LTE, bonded cellular. This unit has 12 modems. For example, on an iPhone we can combine wireless and an LTE signal. But we can also use satellite, Begin for example, team up with microwave, or use Ethernet or Wi-Fi as well. So the transmission side offers the customer a range of choices to transmit the signals back to the studio or the broadcast center. Okay. In terms of management, we have a portal product that allows the customer and the user to manage all the devices in the field, to manage the outpoints. It includes geolocation, remote control of these units. So those units can be controlled, settings, different modes. So we can actually have a live mode. We can also do live and store forward. So we're always recording the high resolution files as well in case they need to be transmitted later on. Okay. Content routing, so that's basically telling where the signal needs to go, and then also analytics, so to run analytics on system performance, usage, technical support and all that kind of good stuff. In terms of playout, over here we are showing a playout server. So this server would sit in the broadcast center. It has two SDI outputs. It will upconvert to any signal set on the outputs, and this will go right away into the production switcher or the newsroom system as well. There can be multiple servers in multiple locations, and then the signals can be routed to the servers. Okay. Outside the server, we also have a cloud offering that allows people to live broadcast back for OTT or web use. So let me quickly take you through an example of the cloud server. So we have an input, for example, going into the Dejero transmitter, and from there we live transmit through Ethernet, wireless or bonded cellular through our live portal. And then instead of a hardware server, we actually have cloud servers that we rent out for a week, for a month, certain data. That cloud server can be connected to directly to YouTube, for example, or work through a CDN like Akamai or Edgecast to give you broadcasting directly on an OTT platform. So web, phones. Dejero has very successfully done that in several markets with elections, larger sport events, etc. Okay, so these are our cloud servers as well outside the traditional baseband broadcasting. Let me now give you a quick overview of our new portal, and give you a little bit of an overview on how the management side of our product works. So now I'll be showing you our management software. Works on a browser. So as you can see here in this setup, we have 4 systems here with geolocation. They're in Canada. I have a general dashboard that actually allows me to geolocate, see my shot metrics, but it also allows me to see my inventory in terms of sources, outputs, the amount of servers I have. It allows me to look at file transfers. This layout is actually customizable, so if I prefer to make this kind of my top priority, I can actually customize this interface depending on the user and user preferences. Okay. If we go to our live sources, you'll see our multi-viewer. The multi-viewer actually shows you, gives you an update on the live sources, and the live sources are actually the Dejero transmitters that are in the field. So that's either an iPhone, a GoBox in this case, a MacBook, or a VSET, for example. The sources can be organized by favorites, for example. We can have up to as many sources as you have transmitters, so this can go up to tens, 20, hundreds of different sources. And on the right, we see the outputs as well. So that's, in this case, the output that is actually outputted on the server in HDSDI. All these areas are customizable, so the system allows the customer to name their output or to custom name their sources depending on their naming conventions and preferences. I can also look, dragging and dropping, I can change my output, for example. So this is all drag and drop. I can also go into the settings of the output and stop live or add a favorite, or pick another file and then use this as the video source. So now this source will be going live. If I look at these sources here, I can also actually look at all the settings. So this source now, it shows me the geolocation, and over here I can look at my analytics, but I can also manage the device, for example. And this actually gives me the exact same interface that we have here on the GoBox. So one of the nice things is about this, the GoBox is the remote person can change the setting himself in the field per his preferences, or they can just start and stop the transmission. But the broadcast center can also change the settings, go back to default settings, or start and stop the live transmission, from a web browser or from the broadcast center. Okay. So this will, as you'll see here, this will give remote control, and then we also show analytics in terms of hours transmitted, formats, performance, and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, and it's the same thing here. We can show our outputs, our servers. Okay, in terms of files, we don't only live transmit. Those systems can also they also record the files. So we also have management here in terms of looking at the files, and what we can do is we can actually find a clip, for example. So it gives us the size, and then we can actually select a playout location as well for this, let's say output 2, and then we can actually play that clip onto output 2. So it also allows us not only to play out live, but also, as you see now, to actually play a clip that's actually being recorded, in this case on the GoBox. Thanks for your time today at the show. In terms of some of the user applications and the people that use it, these products are used in news gathering. So we have a lot of organizations around the world like CBS, NBC, ABC, CTV, Sky, BBC, News 9 using our technology to do live news and broadcasting. We also have do a lot of sports events. So currently our products is used with ESPN and Sky at the World Cricket Championships, the Volvo World Sailing Race, the triathlon in Dubai. So we're doing many live sporting events. Plus corporate events. So we've done corporate events with McDonald's, Walmart. If you want to know more about the products, please contact our partner in Asia, Ideal Systems, and their website is idealsys.com. If you like more information, please feel free to visit our website at dejero.com.
Well, welcome to ABU Malaysia. I'm here on the Ideal stand, and you can see it's a very busy show. What we've brought from Phabrix, test and measurement company based in the UK, is a series of instruments. Our most famous product is the SX range of instruments. These are portable devices, which you can see in broadcasters around the world. But new at ABU is the RX range. We're releasing V902, and that adds significant capabilities to what is already a very impressive multi-channel presentation of test and measurement instruments. So if I can step you through some of the features of the product. Okay, well, let's start with the SXE. This instrument is probably the most famous of our instruments, over 5,000 sold worldwide. The great thing about it is a combined generator, analyzer and monitor. And what that means for an engineer is in one particular instrument you've got all the tool sets to deal with audio and video. And universally it's been approved for its ability to actually show ion jitter pattern. Now that on a portable platform for an engineer is really, really significant. It's our top of the range product, but again, you can check the portability of the product, and the fact that it's very rugged means you can get in the back of an OB truck, you can take it with you can even put it in your pocket. So that is why this product has sold in its thousands. However, we haven't stopped there. This is a new product, and what's significant about this is the ability to add an SFP to this device. It gives you SDI and optical. I can show you just how easy that is to put in. Here we have a copper BN SFP, but it could just as easily be optical. Click it in and you've got access to all the generation, analyzing and monitoring tool sets that you would expect from Phabrix products. But the key thing here is that you've got analog, you've got SDI and you've got optical. Now if you're in the transition from the analog domain through to digital, this is the product you should be looking at. And at the price point that this product sits at, this is absolutely a steal. And again, you've got all the backing of Phabrix. We've been around since 2008, selling this product worldwide. This is the new one. Check this one out. Okay, well, let's have a look at the SXE in a little more detail. From the get-go, you can see it's got an onboard loudspeaker, so this deals with both video and audio. And on the front entry screen, you can see the generator and analyzer and the logging, giving you a heads up of what's going on with the signal. We'll go into it in a bit more detail, but let's have a look at the various interfaces on the product. You've got SDI in and SDI out. Clearly it's generator and analyzer on board. But look here, you've got AES in and AES out, and you've got reference. Turn it over and you've got access to TCP/IP control from any open web browser, because this has its own web server, meaning that you can remotely control this product if it's in the bay, or in fact stream the instruments back to your desk. In operation, it's very simple button control. You have to keep the screen clean because that's what you're interested in. But if I go into the generator, here you can see I can select a whole range of different patterns. There's 38 on board, moving patterns the whole lot. I can check the signal that I'm generating, and if I then move across to the analyzer, again a couple of clicks and we're back into the analyzer. And let's start with the picture. This is the generator. If I take the signal away, you can see that the signal's gone. So in use, this is what you do. You plug the signal in and you just check to see that the signal is coming in correctly. And then you've got access to a range of tools. You've got the traditional waveforms, you've got the traditional vectors, all of those things. But this is a significant feature on this product, the ability to access ion jitter. You've also got alignment and timing jitter, but these automated measurements that are presented here, as long as they're white, then you know the signal is actually intact. As I said from the beginning, there's analyzer, there's 16 channels of audio, including Dolby, Dolby generator and Dolby analyzer on board. This is metadata, and of course if you are logging, you've got a whole access to the logging features within the product. Okay, well, let's have a closer look at the RX range of rack mounted products. I've got three of them with me on the Ideal stand. You can see the RX 500. Again, this has got a little option to add feet to it, so it's very useful if you're a manufacturer, or indeed if you're in a QC department and you need it on the desk. But here you have two others which are rack mounted, the RX 1000 and the RX 2000. The difference between these two products is that the RX 2000 has the integral screens. This enables you to step through up to 4 channels. We're looking at the instrument simultaneously, though it will accept 8 inputs, including fiber, and that's a standard on all of this range. The other key feature here is that you've got some very high quality speakers. So you've got to ask yourself, if you're putting in a QC solution and you need video and audio, instead of buying 2 boxes, you can get everything in 1 box. And that's a key point, selling point for this product. We've sold it into major broadcasters around the world, and it's its modularity, which is obviously seeing people coming back for more modules as they increase the functionality of the product. Now what you're looking at here is the instruments being presented from one of 4 channels, which I can access from the front panel. So look at it from the point of view of multi-site tasking. This could be in an OB truck. And what I'm going to show you now, and if we can look at the screen behind me, if you can see what I can get local control here from the bay, but I may want to send it into the OB truck or MCR. And to do that, I'll simply go into the control here, and I'm going to select the HDMI output. So we've taken the feed from this product through its HDMI 1920 by 1080 output, or this could be SDI, and look at this. You've got a multitude of channels, 1, 2, 3, 4, and each of these channels, as I'll demonstrate now, you can see up to 16 channels simultaneously. So this is the only product that shows all of these instruments so easily at this price point. Obviously, as you can see, it's very easy to select any of the instruments, and if I double click at any time, I can see full frame video. If I need more detail, I can look at any of these instruments at that massive 1920 by 1080 resolution. But from an engineer's point of view, if you see a fault, there can't be any better solution than looking at all the instruments and tracking them with your eye to see where the fault might present itself. Now, I've said that we've got 4 channels attached. Look at the color coding. This is channel 1. But if I quickly go to maybe a quad view with sound, if I go to a quad view on channel 2, I can step through various instruments and see different configurations of those instruments. And these are all presets, up to 99 presets. Chief engineer can take control and set it up exactly as he wants. Now there are some very nice new features in the product, including full Dolby support, and I know that's quite interesting within the Southeast Asia region. And here you see, let me just quickly bring up all the Dolby tool sets. You can see we have a Dolby screen here, and you've got full Dolby metadata, and you've also got Dolby decode with obviously audio metering telling you exactly where you are. And look over here, you've got loudness support as well. Another key factor of this product is you get loudness for free on a single channel with the product. You get closed captioning for free, and with a simple right click of the mouse, you can access captioning, AFD, V-chip, a whole range of different features. So as a multi-instrument, multi-function QC product, I don't think you're going to get any better than the RX to support you in your broadcast needs. Thank you for spending the time with Phabrix at Ideal. By all means, contact the team at Ideal at any time, and they have a very, very good team who will be able to offer you training and advice for your broadcast infrastructure. And of course, Phabrix is always at hand supporting Ideal as they support you in this region. Thank you.